Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Sian. Today I've got for you my autumn to be read. There are quite a lot of books in this pile and there are a couple that have definitely been in there, possibly since last year's autumn to be read. So I'm going to make a real effort to read those ones. There's also some exciting ones which are kind of ones in a trilogy or a series of books that I'm really looking forward to delving into and enjoying. Right, first up is one of those, and this is Unsold by Neil Shusterman. This is the third book in the series and I absolutely cannot wait to see what happens next. The second book I didn't find quite as good as the first, but I think that's quite often the case in a kind of series of books, but the third one generally kind of picks up. So this one says on the back, hopefully most of you will know kind of from watching my previous videos where we are in the story. On the back it says, with the graveyard destroyed, Connor and Lev are on the run again, but this time they're running towards answers that may stop unwinding forever. Rewound boy Cam is plotting against those that created him. Bringing proactive citizenry to its knees will show Reza how he truly feels about her, because without Reza, Cam is having trouble remembering what it feels like to be human. With the vindictive parts pirates and the authorities hunting them, Connor, Lev, Cam and Reza will cross paths again, and the consequences will be explosive. Now, like I said before, I cannot wait to get into this one. I think I've got one more book to read before this, so this might be my first book of October. But they're so well written and you're really invested in the characters in this. I really want to know what happens next, and obviously Cam isn't technically a real human, which is how he's forgetting what it feels to be human. So I'm really looking forward to that. I also have another Neil Shusterman book, which I haven't included in this, don't know why, called Dry, and that again I'm really looking forward to. The second book is one that I don't often read, books that are kind of how to grow yourself as a person or business based, but maybe I should. So this is by Emma Gannon and it is the multi-hyphen method, and I've seen so many people read this. It says on the front, work less, create more, how to make your side hustle work for you. Now obviously my side hustle is actually my main income, but it's trying to work out how I can do that in the most efficient way, and I think this will really help me. So on the back it says, if you've been itching to convert your craft into a career or your side hustle into a startup, then the multi-hyphen method is for you. In the multi-hyphen method, award-winning blogger, broadcaster, podcast creator Emma Gannon teaches that it doesn't matter if you're a part-time PA with a blog or a nurse who runs an online store in the evenings. Whatever your ratio, whatever your mixture, we can all channel our own entrepreneurial spirit to live more fulfilled and financially healthy lives. We all have the skills necessary to work less and create more, and the multi-hyphen method is a source of inspiration you'll need to help you navigate your way towards your own definition of success. And again, I have heard so many good things about this, so I'm really looking forward to getting stuck in with that. The third book I have in the pile is Nothing to Envy, and this is a book about real lives in North Korea. This was one that was recommended to me. It says on the back, North Korea is one of the most repressive and secretive states on earth. Spying is encouraged, the media is government controlled. Gone with the Wind is a dangerous banned book. In the 1990s, famine descended. Millions of people died, but the regime remained in power. Through extensive interviews, Barbara Demick has created the first portrait of life in this extraordinary country, weaving together the stories of 6 ordinary citizens in a gripping, vivid account of adversity and survival in the land of our dear leader. And I mean, it sounds amazing, doesn't it? You know, I've just been talking about a kind of dystopian world, and you look at this and you think, well hang on, that's not that far from the truth for some people. This is how some people live their lives. So I'm going to be really interested to see more about this and just to read, because they're all real people, they are true stories, this is their lives in North Korea. So I think this will be a really interesting read. And next up is one that I've seen so many people reading, The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Again, it's one that you know me, I'm totally influenced by other people, what they're reading, and I just thought everyone else is reading it and they're all saying good things about it, so I'm going to give it a go. On the back it says, at a party thrown by her parents, Evelyn Hardcastle will be killed again. She's been murdered hundreds of times, and each day Aidan Bishop is too late to save her. The only way to break the cycle is to identify Evelyn's killer, but every time the day begins, Aidan wakes in the body of a different guest, and someone is desperate to stop him ever escaping Blackheath. It sounds really, really fascinating, I'll be honest. It's not the kind of book I would normally go for, I don't think, but I do quite like a kind of crime thriller type book. So I think this will be really interesting to kind of get into and see what's going on with it. And yes, I have heard so many good things about it. I then have the Bookish Mama's book club read for September, so this will be read. It's my next book to read, so it's definitely going to get read in autumn. And it is The Man Who Didn't Call by Rosie Walsh. I've heard that this is quite slow going for the first kind of third of the book, so I'm prepared for that. And I'm going to keep plodding on because it's definitely worth it, apparently. On the back it says, imagine you meet a man, spend 7 glorious days together and fall in love, and it's mutual. You've never been so certain of anything. So when he leaves for a long booked holiday and promises to call from the airport, you have no cause to doubt him, but he doesn't call. Your friends tell you to forget him, but you know you're wrong. Something must have happened. There must be a reason for his silence. What do you do when you finally discover that you're right? That there is a reason, and that reason is the one thing you didn't share with each other, the truth. It does sound fantastic. It sounds like I could really, really get into it. I'm looking forward to reading it, and you will see quite soon in my September wrap-up what I thought of it. Okay, this is a third in a trilogy. I'm pretty sure it's the third. This is Career of Evil by Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling, and it's a Cormoran Strike novel. I've read the previous 2. In this case, I preferred the second book to the first one. But I've really, really enjoyed them, and I quite like the way that it's a very descriptive narrative. It's kind of not flowery or anything, but really the characters are fully formed, and each time you read the book you're learning more about them, which is just exactly what you want from a trilogy or a series of books. You want to kind of be involved in these people's lives again, and obviously with this type of book you're just going back and solving a different crime, or you know, it's the next phase of their life, so you're just carrying on along that journey, which I really like. On the back it says, when a mysterious package is delivered to Robin Ellicott, she is horrified to discover that it contains a woman's severed leg. Her boss, private detective Cormoran Strike, is less surprised, but no less alarmed. There are 4 people from his past who he thinks could be responsible, and Strike knows that any one of them is capable of sustained and unspeakable brutality. With the police focusing on the one suspect Strike is increasingly sure is not the perpetrator, he and Robin take matters into their own hands and delve into the dark and twisted worlds of the other 3 men. But as more horrendous acts occur, time is running out for the 2 of them. I just think the way that J.K. Rowling writes is brilliant, and it's nice to be able to read something that's so utterly far away from Harry Potter. They remind me a bit of kind of Peter Robinson, those kind of books, in terms of getting straight back into the story, but there's far more narrative. There really is. It's broader. There's far more involvement and personal involvement, which I really like. I feel like I can totally get on board with that. And I have one final book, and this is because, although you won't know this yet, but I really didn't love The Testaments by Margaret Atwood, so I'm going to give her another go. And I really thought I would, because The Handmaid's Tale was one of my most formative books. I adored it more than I can even describe. So I possibly had too high expectations for The Testaments. That's not for this video though, that will be in my September wrap up. So I've got Mad Adam, which is by Margaret Atwood. I love Margaret Atwood. I have read almost every single book she's ever written, and I'm quite passionate about reading whatever she writes. And this is there's definitely 2 in the series, and I haven't read them, so going in. It says on the back, Toby, a survivor of the man-made plague that has swept the earth, is telling stories. stories left over from the old world, and stories that will determine a new one. Listening hard is young Blackbeard, one of the innocent Quakers, the species designed to replace humanity. Their reluctant prophet, Jimmy the Snowman, is in a coma, so they've chosen a new hero, Zeb, the street-smart man Toby loves. As clever pigeons attack their fragile garden, malevolent paintballers scheme, the small band of survivors will need more than stories. This sounds a bit Jasper Fordy, and I love Jasper Ford. Kind of a bit out there, a bit sort of, I don't really know what the word is, magical, I guess. Yeah, it says on the front it's a wild ride. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm sure it won't disappoint. And obviously you will see soon exactly what I thought of the Testaments. And those are my books that I would like to read in autumn. Hopefully I will get most of them done. I've had an amazing reading month so far in September. I think I'm 5 books down, and I've got 2 more to go before the end of September, which I should easily do because I'm halfway through one of them, which is a brilliant book. So definitely tune in for my September wrap up, because all the books, bar one, have been absolutely brilliant. Right, I'm off now. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you again soon. Alright, bye.